Alright, so now let's jump on these vocals here. We got it separated into two pieces, verses and chorus. This would be to my advantage in the mixing here because I can add more effects on the chorus. I can add more doubler, more chorus delay, these kinds of things just on a separate track, and I don't have to automate so much. Either way, you can just record all the vocals under one track. It doesn't really make that much of a difference, but anywho, so first off, we're going to do some compression. And a plugin that I like to use a lot on vocals is the VC2A plugin. So this is modeled after a vintage compressor, and it does a really good job on keeping a sustained constant level, and you can't set the attack or the release on this thing. The only thing you can set is peak reduction and then the input gain, and you can do compression or limit. It's one or the other. The limit has a higher ratio. Compress has a softer and lower ratio. So we're gonna keep it on compress.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile.
I'm gonna put one of these
you've been all over
presets
town.
to start with.
It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaging in love,
And I think I want
with no regrets or denial.
no more than 3 dB
I should have known all along,
of gain reduction.
you're just not my style.
Because otherwise it starts to sound unnatural.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile, that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaging in love, with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along, you're just not my style.
Cool, let's make sure it's nice and even throughout the whole.
I saw you just the other day. No, it wasn't too much. I didn't have nothing to say. You're just a little out of touch. You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all along, just not my style.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
Walking down the line, it's so hard for me. I get crossed in your wires. I'm blinded, but I can see that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all along, you're just not my style.
Yeah, that's nice. Very cool. Alright, so now we're going to do some EQing. So I think we're going to stick with this broadband. Because I don't want to change the character in any way. I just want to scoop out what I don't need and then keep and maybe boost a little bit, but not too much.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile, that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaging in love, with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along, you're just not my style.
So that's about as much as I want to go. I don't want to take too much low end out, rolling off at about just under the 100 mark.
You've been all over town.
You don't want to take too much body out.
It's been a long, long mile. 'Cause you're engaging in love.
But at the same time, you really don't need any of the sub harmonics here. So from 50 down, you don't need any of that for vocals. You can do a more gradual high pass if you want. That'll help clear it quite a bit, but I choose to do it a little bit more, a little bit harder, just to get rid of that stuff, because I don't think it's going to contribute anything into the mix. So now that we've done the chorus or the verse, let's do the chorus. So I'll just copy these plugins with the same settings, and then we'll just make sure it sounds just as good. If it could be a little bit louder, maybe there could be a little bit more gain reduction so that the RMS level of the chorus is slightly higher. It'll be more of in your face, but I think what I'm going to do instead of doing it on this plugin is automate the parallel compression on the vocals on the group track. And that'll have the same effect, but without taking away the transient information. And that's probably the best thing to do, is maybe just automate the parallel compression, which will boost the volume slightly, but it'll also boost the RMS level. And then I might choose to automate some of the reverb, some of the doubler, stuff like that, so it'll thicken up slightly. This song doesn't have any harmonies on it, so I'll have to do something to change it up in the chorus. So, but I'll deal with that later. So
I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. I can see what you means to me. I can see what you mean.
So this could use more volume automation by me rather than the compressor.
I can see what you means to me.
Oops.
I can see what you means to me.
This can go down.
I can see what you means to me. I can see what you means to me. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. It's all over town, baby. I can see what she means to me.
Yeah, that's quite nice.
Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town.
This could go up slightly.
Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. Can see, I can see what she means to me. What she means to me.
This could go down slightly.
I can see what she means to me. Don't make a sound. Don't make a sound. 'cause it's all over town.
There we go. That's pretty decent. We'll just check this first two because I can't remember now.
I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. I can see what you means to me. What you mean. I can see what you means to me. What you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. It's all over town, baby.
Yep. That's pretty good. So now we'll just adjust the level like I did with the guitar. Make sure they're roughly the same level.
All along, you're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. I can see what.
And this can go down a bit.
You're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town.
And this can go down.
Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. The other day, just not my style. I can see what you means to me.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So now that we got that done, now is the time for EQing. And just like I've done before with the overheads and stuff, what's coming out of the speakers right now is sounding nice and full. It's nice and clear. I don't need to boost or take away too much at all. But what I could do is, first of all, do a multi-band compressor. Mostly because there's some sibilants, so like the S's and sh and stuff like that, that are a little bit harsh, and just some of the mid frequencies from time to time are poking out in some areas of the vocals. So to keep these under control, it's a good idea to have a multi-band compressor. And I'm going to do very slight amounts of compression because I've already adjusted the volume, or sorry, adjusted the level of the volume with the other compressor. That's what's keeping the volume at a nice tight level. So this, all I want to do is try and even out the frequency bands just a little bit.
I can see in your eyes.
So right now this is too much.
And I can tell by your smile.
Too much compression.
That you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. 'Cause you're engaging.
So what I could do is change the range to be very slight.
In love. With no regrets or denial. I should have known all along. You're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. I saw you just the other day. No, it wasn't too much. I didn't have nothing to say. You're just a little out of touch. You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all along. Just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town.
So yeah, this is a pretty good setting.
It's all over town, baby.
It's doing very slight amount of work by balancing the 4 different bands of frequencies here. All this mid information I don't want to compress too much, because you could hear if it's going more than like this 0.6 range, it's starting to dip in volume, because that's where most of the information is all that mid stuff right here. There's a lot of top end as well, which adds a lot of clarity, but most of this mid range is where that power is coming from. And the more you compress it, you can hear the shift in volume, which is not what we want. We just want a slight amount of balance. So that is good enough for there. And as far as EQ wise, I might do this Kramer one again, just to see what it brings out. Let's see if there's a lead vocal. 4, yeah, this is definitely going to be too bright, but let's check it out anyways.
Over town, it's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along. You're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. Are you just the other day? No, it wasn't too much. I didn't have nothing to say. You're just a little out of touch. You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all along. Just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town.
So I might keep this, even though it's only doing a slight amount of EQing. It's brightening it up a little bit, and I think it's adding just a little bit of thickness with this low end here.
You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaged in love with no regrets or denial.
Yeah, it's doing very small amounts of EQing, but that's what I want it to do. It's just a slight amount of boost, because right now it's nice and clear.
You're just a little out of touch.
Let's just double check with the whole mix, because in the context of the mix it might be too dull still, so let's check it out.
You're just a little out of touch. You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all along. Just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. It's all over town, baby.
Okay, so it should be okay. One last thing that I'm gonna do is this tape saturation, and it should provide a little bit of clarity because of the saturation.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along, you're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile, 'cause you're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along, you're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. I can see what you means to me. I can see what you means to me.
Well, it's doing a little bit, not a heck of a lot, but I'll keep it on because it is providing that saturation in the lower mids and a little bit of the higher mids as well. I think that's about it we're gonna do on the group channel, other than send effects, because we're gonna thicken it up and we're gonna do some more parallel, or do some parallel compression, which will help even out the volume that little bit more. But we're also gonna do some doubler. We're gonna do a little bit of short delay to provide some kind of spatial echo-ness going on. So alright, so now that we've processed everything, let's hear the mix without any processing, and then with all the processing.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. You're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along, you're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. I saw you just the other day. No, it wasn't too much. I didn't have nothing to say.
So yeah, all of this work has definitely cleaned everything up. I think the most noticeable is the drums, which project a lot nicer. When we solo the drums, it's very obvious that the gating is helping clear up the sound because of all that tom rumbling going on. The bass sounds less boxy and has more of the right frequencies that we want in the mix, as well as a little bit of saturation and this R bass, which projects it better because of those harmonics. The guitar is just clear overall, more clear. And you know what? Let's make sure we have some of this tape saturation on here as well. We'll do that on the guitar solo. And everything else pretty much has it, except for these cymbals. We don't really need to do it on these cymbals. Toms, snares, and kick. It's always good to have that. And the overheads for sure, it provides that nice tape sound that is so rockin'. It's a classic sound, actually, so in case you didn't know. So I think it thinned it out slightly. It's not too bad though. It's actually, what it is doing is kind of bringing it out in the mix slightly. Even though it's thinning it out, it's kind of shifting the balance towards the clarity rather than
tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. 'Cause you're addicted in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along. You're just not my style. I can see what you means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it
yeah, it's just slightly clearer. And I've helped overcome some of that lost low end by boosting this a little bit. And I've dulled it down slightly by turning this down because of the added clarity of this. So now it's slightly more balanced. So now we're gonna try a different setting just to see what the difference is. So this B setting has more distortion right now. So let's hear the difference within the mix.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. You're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along. You're just not my style. I can see what she means to me. Don't make a
So now they're roughly the same. Yeah, I think this setting is probably the best. So that is enough of this tape jargon. Yeah, now I'll just double check that I've done everything that I wanted to. And then in the next video, we're going to start doing the effects processing. So probably all the parallel compression all at once. And then probably all the doubler all at once. Step by step. Start with the drums, move up to the vocals. So I'll play a little bit, and then I'll flip through all the channels just to double check like I was talking about.
I can see in your eyes, and I can tell by your smile that you've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. You're engaged in love with no regrets or denial. I should have known all along. You're just not my style. I can see what she means to me. Don't make a sound, 'cause it's all over town. Saw you just the other day. No, it wasn't too much. Didn't have nothing to say. You're just a little out of touch. You've been all over town. It's been a long, long mile. I should have known all.
So that's one thing I forgot, was to copy paste this onto the guitar solo. Now let's make sure it's sounding good before we move on. Yep. So it's the same thing. It's adding just a little bit of clarity. So that is good. Good to go. All right. So we're moving on to the next section.